Good evening, and welcome to Neutral News, the program that looks at the world and says, well, that's a bit much. Tonight, we're ignoring the tedious squabbles of governments to focus on the real front line, a battleground not in some distant, dusty country, but about 3 feet away from you on the sofa. We are, of course, talking about the great domestic Cold War, the silent, simmering conflict between cohabiting partners. For a breakdown of the key strategic flashpoint, we go to our analyst in the field, Susan. Susan, what's the latest?
Good evening, Neil. The strategic landscape remains fraught with peril. The primary theater of operations, as always, is the control of domestic climate. The battle for the thermostat continues to be a source of constant low-grade friction.
Ah, the little white box of passive aggression. So, the usual heated debate.
Indeed. We have two entrenched factions. First, the tropical enthusiasts. This group operates on the principle that a home should have the ambient temperature and humidity of a Sumatran jungle. They believe the answer to any problem, including existential dread, is to nudge the heating up by another degree. Their motto is, if I can't see my breath, it's a good day.
And their opponents, I assume they're huddled under a blanket somewhere.
They are the fiscal stoics, Neil. This group views the thermostat not as a comfort device, but a money extraction machine attached to the wall. They are firm believers in the doctrine of put a jumper on. They conduct covert missions, often while pretending to fetch a glass of water, to dial the temperature back down to something resembling the surface of Mars. The conflict is less about comfort and more a fundamental disagreement on whether the gas bill should be larger than the GDP of a small nation.
It's a war of attrition, then, fought by stealth and thermal underwear. But these conflicts must surely spill outside the home.
Inevitably, once a joint venture into the outside world is planned, we enter the second major conflict zone, retail procurement. Specifically, the simple act of going to the supermarket.
That most hazardous of environments. I imagine the strategies diverge somewhat.
Wildly. First, you have the surgical strike operative. They have a list. It is a sacred text. Their mission is to enter the premises, secure specified assets, bread, milk, cheese, and exfiltrate via the self-checkout in under 5 minutes. They move with the speed and grim determination of a bomb disposal expert.
In and out, no messing about. The SAS of the weekly shop.
Precisely, their opponent is the aisle wanderer. This individual sees the supermarket as a place of wonder and discovery. They have no list, only a vague notion of getting some bits. They are prone to stopping dead in the middle of an aisle to contemplate the philosophical differences between 15 types of olive oil. They are the reason the surgical strike operative to be found 10 minutes later held hostage by the deli counter, their will to live slowly evaporating next to the prosciutto.
It's an ambush, a tactical quagmire of 2-for-1 offers. Now, this brings us neatly to communication, Susan. How do these two wildly different personality types even begin to discuss these issues?
With extreme difficulty, Neil, which leads us to the most complex area of intelligence, deciphering verbal and nonverbal signals. We have isolated a key, high-threat phrase. I'm fine.
Ah, the 3 most terrifying words in the English language.
Our analysis indicates that I'm fine is a direct inversion of meaning. It is a coded message which translates roughly to, a vortex of fury is currently building within me, and you have approximately 45 seconds to guess why before it is unleashed. This verbal signal is usually accompanied by what we are calling percussive choreography.
Percussive choreography.
Yes, the unnecessarily loud placement of mugs on tables, the vigorous, almost violent closing of a cupboard door, the frantic tidying of an already tidy surface. It's a form of emotional semaphore, Neil, expressed through kitchenware. Attempting to decode it is one of the most dangerous games in any domestic civic.
It's like trying to defuse a bomb, but the instruction manual is written in riddles and the timer is your partner's patience. And this difficulty with communication must surely affect the way they remember things.
Absolutely, Neil. This is the anecdotal accuracy discrepancy. Within any partnership, one individual often appoint themselves the de facto royal archelaus. They remember the exact date, time, and weather conditions of every significant event in the relationship history.
Living, breathing database of past arguments.
The other party, meanwhile, retains a more impressionistic gist of the story version of events. The conflict becomes public during social occasions when a story is being told. The archivist will provide live, unsolicited fact-checking from the sidelines. It wasn't a Tuesday, it was a Wednesday after your dental appointment, and you weren't wearing the blue coat, you were wearing the gray one with a faint curry stain.
It must do wonders for the flow of a dinner party. Less of a charming anecdote, more of a courtroom cross-examination.
It ensures a commitment to the truth at the expense of all narrative joy.
And finally, Susan, at the end of a long day of navigating these psychological minefields, the battle for the sofa, the ultimate prize, the remote control.
Remote control sovereignty, Neil, the final frontier. The remote is a scepter. He who holds it rules the evening. The channel surfing, the volume control, the terrifying power to pause live TV. One faction may desire a gritty Scandinavian detective drama. The other might be desperate to watch a program about people who somehow have got their car stuck on a beach.
A true clash of cultures. So, to summarize for our viewers, the average home is not a haven of peace, but a complex tapestry of unspoken rules, strategic maneuvers, and thermodynamic warfare, where the combatants are locked in a perpetual struggle over shopping, memory, and who gets to watch bargain hunt. Is that about the size of it?
An impeccably accurate summary of the situation, Neil.
Thank you, Susan. So, as you sit there tonight, remember that the silence from the other end of the sofa might not be contentment. It might be the sound of a fiscal stoic plotting their next move on the thermostat. A chilling thought. Good night.